Today's lesson is carboxylic acids and its derivatives second part, session 2. My name is Ashok Elshala, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Kakatiya Government College, Hanamkonda, Warangal Urban District, Telangana, India. In first session, we discussed about the carboxylic acid and its derivatives. In this part, we discussed about what are the different carboxylic acids, what are their trivial names, what are its IUPAC name, what is the structure of the carboxylic acids, how does IUPAC nomenclature is given to the different acids, and what are the types of carboxylic acid like monocarboxylic acid and dicarboxylic acid, and what are their structures. And another important we discussed is the acidic property of carboxylic acid. What is that? The acidic property means how does the carboxylic acid behaves acidic in nature, and what are the different factors that influence its acidic property. How does it is more acidic than the alcohols and other compounds of the same category. Now, if you observe the carboxylic acid, they are acidic in nature and their acidic strength was enhanced by the presence of electron withdrawing group. And the acidic nature of carboxylic acid is due to the carboxylate ions are more stabilized than the carboxylic acid due to the resonance. And in the similarly, in the case of the aromatic acids are stronger acid than the aliphatic acid because more resonance observed in the case of this one. Now, let us see today's lesson. And in the today's lesson, we mainly focus on how does the carboxylic acids are prepared by the different methods. How does the aliphatic acids are prepared and how does aromatic acids are prepared. Let us see this one. Now, what are the general methods of preparations of carboxylic acid? If you see this case, the first one is hydrolysis. You know that the hydrolysis means hydro means water and lysis means splitting. That means any compound that reacts with the water by splitting the water into H plus and OH minus, and that type of reactions are called hydrolysis. Now another one, carbonation of the Grignard reagents. Carbonation of the Grignard reagent means the Grignard reagent, all you know that RMGX is called Grignard reagent, and it is when treated with the carbon dioxide followed by hydrolysis, then we will get an intermediate product and which will give the carboxylic acids finally. And one more is there are some special methods. This carbonation and hydrolysis, the two methods can be used for the preparation of both aromatic as well as the aliphatic acids. Whereas there are some special methods are there to prepare the carboxylic acids of aromatic acid. And some other you can say oxidation of arenes also. This also comes under the special method, but we will discuss this as a separate method. Now let us go for the first method, that is called as hydrolysis. Then which compounds will give which compound will give carboxylic acid during the hydrolysis? First, you know that the hydrolysis of nitriles. Nitriles, you know that is called cyanides or nitriles. This undergo hydrolysis and to give the carboxylic acid. The second one you see this hydrolysis of amides. The amide compounds also during hydrolysis, they will produce the carboxylic acid. And third one, if you see the hydrolysis of esters. The hydrolysis of esters also will give the compounds. Now let us go for the first method, that is called as the The first method, that is called as the hydrolysis of, what we call it as the hydrolysis of the first one is the hydrolysis. In the hydrolysis, the first one is the hydrolysis of nitriles. Nitriles, you know that? The cyanides. Cyanides means CN. The functional group is CN. Now, let us see how does this will take. This you observe, this is going to be the cyanide or C triple bond N, and there is a triple bond between the carbon and nitrogen, and which undergo reaction with water in presence of either acidic medium or basic medium. And you observe this one, between the carbon nitrogen there is a triple bond, and among this triple bond and among this carbon and nitrogen, you know that the nitrogen is more electronegative. Because of this reason, the pi bond electrons, this is one, the pi bonded electrons somewhat attracted towards the nitrogen, and this, because of this reason, and what happens here, the pi bonded electron when attracted nitrogen, nitrogen gets some partial positive negative charge, and the carbon will get the positive charge. You know that in HOH, H plus and OH minus, because nitrogen is more electronegative, the H plus ions are added to the nitrogen and OH minus ions are added to the carbon, and so that you can get an intermediate compound where carbon holding OH and nitrogen holding hydrogen. And this is a hydroxyimine compound, and this is somewhat unstable, and you know that there is a double bond and OH group, there is somewhat somewhere rearrangement takes place, like keto-enol tautomerism type. And you can see this one, the hydrogen is shifted, the pi bond is shifted to here, the same time the proton is shifted to this nitrogen, and we will get an amide compound. That means hydrolysis of nitriles, first they will give the amide compounds, and which are also further on hydrolysis in presence of either acidic or basic medium, that will give the carboxylic acid and ammonia is formed. That is, hydrolysis of nitriles in presence of acidic or basic medium gives an intermediate, which on hydrolysis, which undergo rearrangement to give the amide, and which on hydrolysis you will get the carboxylic acid and ammonia is formed. Now let us see some examples for this one. What are these examples? In the case of the hydrolysis of nitriles, let us discuss some examples. The first example is, how does the hydrolysis of methyl nitrile, that is methyl cyanide, takes place. See this one, that is the methyl cyanide, and treated with the water, this in presence of either acidic medium or basic medium, we will get acetic acid. We can observe the initial compound, that is the reactant, and the product acid, they contain the same number of carbons. Means the breaking of the bond takes place between the carbon and nitrogen. That's why we will get the same number of carboxylic acid. Methyl nitrite, methyl cyanide or nitrile during hydrolysis in presence of acidic or basic medium, in presence of what you say either acidic or basic medium, will get acetic acid, and also we will get the byproduct ammonia is also formed. Now let us go for the some other example in this hydrolysis. Now hydrolysis of nitriles, let us discuss about the example 2. That is, in example 2, we'll discuss about the phenylnitrile, that is cyanobenzene. Phenylnitrile or cyanobenzene. See what happens here. The cyanobenzene, when hydrolyzed in presence of either acidic or basic medium, we will get the compound is the benzoic acid. See the same, there is a triple bond, this undergo hydrolysis, intermediate, the same, the reaction mechanism, whatever we discussed previously, the same, we will get the benzoic acid. That is, this is a aromatic acid. Now let us go for the another example. What is this example? In the one is that is hydrolysis in method. The first we discussed is the nitrile hydrolysis. The second is going to be the hydrolysis of amides. What are these amides? You know these amides is nothing but previously we discussed. They contain a functional group CONH2. And if you see this one, or this is the CONH2, during the hydrolysis, we will get what is called compound is the carboxylic acid. You know that this is also undergo in presence of acidic or basic medium only. Previously that we discussed. That is, amides undergo hydrolysis in presence of acidic or basic medium that will give the carboxylic acid. That's why we call it as the hydrolysis of amides. And you see this one, this is basic medium, that is in the the water in presence of either acidic or basic medium. It has OH minus ions. First, the OH minus ions adds to the carbon. Why? Because between the carbon and oxygen, the oxygen is more electronegative and carbon is less electronegative. In this case, what happens? The pi bond is shifted to the oxygen, that is somewhat more attracted towards the oxygen. That's why the oxygen will get negative charge and carbon will get the positive charge. And here this is the nucleophile and it goes and attacks on the electrophilic center. That is, here the carbon shows the positive charge. And we will get an intermediate. This is going to be an intermediate where oxygen is negatively charged one. And during some rearrangement that takes place, elimination takes place here, what happened? The negative charge present on the oxygen again shifted to the between the carbon and oxygen. In the same time, the that is amide ion, that is NH2 minus ion is eliminated, so that we will get the carboxylic acid or C double bond OH. And what happened to this NH2? And we know that in H2O, OH minus is taken by this one, and the H plus ions is taken by this NH2, and finally this converted into the amine, and that can be observed here. This is going to be the NH2 is converted into the NH2 minus takes the H plus ions, and we will get the NH3. Now let us see the other compound, that is hydrolysis of esters. How does this hydrolysis of esters take place? And here esters means what? Esters, the functional group is COOR. That is, it contains the esters generally formed by the reaction between the carboxylic acid and alcohols in presence of either what we call either acidic medium or basic medium to give the ester and water. That is called esterification reaction. The ester hydrolysis is a reversible reaction, and when it is again it is treated with the water either in acidic or basic medium, then the ester undergo hydrolysis to give the carboxylic acid as well as the alcohols. And that now we will discuss this one, hydrolysis of esters. See, let us see. This is hydrolysis of ester. Just now I told you, or COOR. This is a carboxylic acid group. This is an alcohol group. And this undergo hydrolysis in presence of either acidic or basic medium. In presence of acidic or basic medium, now this gives this part will give the acetic acid, and this part will give the carboxylic acid, and this part give the corresponding alcohol, and we will get the carboxylic acid and alcohol. This reaction is called as hydrolysis of ester. The reverse reaction is called as esterification. That is, carboxylic acid reacts with the alcohol to give ester and water. Carboxylic acid give the reacts with the alcohols in a reverse manner in presence of H plus and OH minus. The reverse reaction is called as the esterification. Now let us take an example. This is compound is called as ethyl acetate. During the hydrolysis in presence of either H plus or OH minus, we will get the acetic acid as well as the, this is what is called as the ethyl acetate. This is called ethyl acetate. Now, during the hydrolysis, we will get acetic acid as well as the ethyl alcohol. Now, let us go for the hydrolysis of the esters. This carried under the acidic medium as well as in the basic medium. In acidic medium, what happens here? In acidic medium, first of all, the protonation takes place. How does this proton, because you know that the oxygen will have one more lone pair of electron here, and this will take this proton that is from in acidic medium, so that the protonation takes place that on the oxygen, and in the same time, that is what happens here. The pi bond is, because it is more electronegative, the pi bond is shifted to this oxygen, that is more attracted, so that the carbon will have the positive charge. That's why we get a carbocation. That is, attacking of this one, we will get the compound. We can say that hydrolysis of ester in acidic medium. See, the protonation takes place, and just now told you, it will get a carbocation, and H is added to the oxygen, because here there is a positive charge. What happened to the next step? See, because it is a what is you can say nucleophilic center, and there is a two lone pair of electrons in the water, and this acts as a best nucleophile, and this attacks on the carbon. So what happens here? When this nucleophile attacks on the carbon, we will get what is this compound is a intermediate compound, where the oxygen will get the positive charge here, positive charge, and this is an intermediate compound, and this will somewhat rearranges. The proton is transferred to the what is called as the alcoholic oxygen, that is alkoxide oxygen, and because of this reason, the positive charge present on this oxygen, this will be shifted to the this oxygen atom, that is alkoxylic oxygen, and positive charge is present, and this will go. And what happens here? There is some rearrangement takes place. How does the lone pair of electron present on this oxygen? There is two lone pairs, here one and here one, and the lone pair of electrons again shifted to the between the carbon and oxygen. In the same time, the elimination of the alcohols takes place. This one, the elimination of alcohol takes place. And if you observe here, this is the case where there is some rearrangement that is going to be the, because there is a double bond formation, the oxygen will get the positive charge, oxygen will get the positive charge, and this bond between the oxygen and hydrogen is shifted to here, this one in the case, and here what happens, the elimination of the proton takes place, and we will get the carboxylic acid. That means during the hydrolysis of ester in presence of acidic medium, the protonation takes place. Finally, a proton is removed, that is eliminated from this, and meanwhile it will form an alcohol and a carboxylic acid. Now let us go for the how does the hydrolysis takes place in basic medium. How does this hydrolysis takes place in basic medium? That is hydrolysis of ester. How does it will takes place in what is called basic medium? See, this is in the base catalyzed hydrolysis. What happens here? In this case, what happens? You can see this is the case. See, in base catalyzed hydrolysis, previously the H plus ion is attacked on the oxygen, that is protonation takes place, whereas the hydroxide ion, which is a nucleophile which adds on the nucleophilic center. How does you know? Between the carbon and oxygen, the pi bond will be more attracted. The pi bond electrons are more attracted towards the oxygen, and because of this reason, it will get the partial negatively charged and it is partially positively charged. That's why the hydroxide ion is added to here. And because this addition, that is addition to this one, and what happens, the oxygen will get a negatively charged one, and this negatively charged oxygen, now what happens, it will be some rearrangement takes place, And this what is the negative charge? Again, it is shifted between the carbon and oxygen. Previously, that is in the hydrolysis of that is hydrolysis in presence of acidic medium. The same step we can observe here. The negative charge shifted to the between the carbon and oxygen. In the same time, the alkoxide ion is removed, and you can see this is an alkoxide ion. And here the carboxylic acid is formed. Among the carboxylic acid and alkoxide ion is a stronger base. And because it is a stronger base, what happens? The, the carboxylic acid is a weak acid, you know that. This carboxylic acid loses a proton to the alkoxide ion because it is a strong base. And in this way. And there is a H plus ion is transferred to the alkoxide ion. Finally, you will get the alcohol. And here the carboxylate ion is formed. And this carboxylate ion during that is what is called acidification, that will give again the carboxylate. Means in the base catalyzed hydrolysis, the hydroxide ion is attacked initially, whereas in the case of the acid catalyzed, see, this is acid catalyzed reaction. In this case, the proton, that is protonation, takes place here. The protonation takes place here, whereas here in this case you can see the hydroxide ion will be added to here, and that is the difference between the base catalyzed and this one. In base catalyzed reaction, and we'll get the alcohol and carboxylate ion, which on acidification we will get the compound is what is called as the carboxylic acid. This is what is the hydrolysis of ester. And now let us see one more is the carbonation of Grignard reagent. Before going to this carbonation of Grignard reagent, in the hydrolysis we discussed three. One is the hydrolysis of nitriles, hydrolysis of amides, hydrolysis of esters. Now the second type of the reaction, that is going to be the carbonation of Grignard reagent. You know what is Grignard reagent? The Grignard reagent is nothing but RMGX. See, previously we discussed the hydrolysis reaction. The second one is the carbonation of the Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent is nothing but the RMGX. How does it is? Carbonation means reacting with carbon dioxide. Whereas here in the case of that what we call hydrolysis, reaction with water is called hydrolysis, reaction with carbon dioxide is called as the carbonation. See this one, that is this is called as a Grignard reagent or MgX, and when treated with the carbon dioxide we will get an intermediate compound. This is an intermediate compound, and during the when it is further hydrolyzed we will get the carboxylic acid and a byproduct is formed. Let us see, this is what is Grignard reagent and the carboxylic acid. How does this takes place? How does this takes place? Actually, in the carbon dioxide, you observe there is a two double bonds are present between the carbon and oxygen. Carbon and oxygen double bond and carbon oxygen double bond. Among these double bonds, and there is some changes takes place between the carbon and oxygen in one double bond. How does, you know, this oxygen is partially negatively charged, that is more electronegative than carbon, that's why it is partially negatively charged, it is partially positively charged. And here what happens, this in the among this methyl magnesium bromide, because the magnesium is a strong electropositive metal, and this part will have some positive charge and the alkyde ion will have some negative charge. There is a polarization of the bond between the magnesium and carbon, and this MgBr will be goes on the oxygen, and because it is a negatively charged one, it is goes to the carbon, so that we will get an intermediate, this one. And what is this intermediate we will get? That is this pi bond, one of the pi bond between the carbon and oxygen is broken, and we will get two signal bonds, and this will be adds to the methyl group, and MgBr adds to this one. Why? Because MgBr is positively charged, oxygen is negatively charged, that's why OMgBr is formed. During the hydrolysis, what happens? And this will give the what is called as a carboxylic acid, and MgOH, we will get MgOH-Br is formed as a byproduct, and the acetic acid is formed. See one more example in the carbonation. See the RMGX and RCOH, this general reaction. Let us see how does the phenyl magnesium bromide undergo carbonation followed by hydrolysis. See this one, the phenyl magnesium bromide on reaction with the carbon dioxide, see this an intermediate product is formed. Like this, an intermediate product is formed similarly, and which on further hydrolysis, here the carboxylic acid, and we will get here the benzoic acid, and the byproduct MgOH-Br is formed. And this is any what is called any carboxylic acid can be prepared with the respective Grignard reagent. And another one is what are the different special methods for the preparation of only aromatic acid. And whatever the previous, what I mean to say, whatever the previous cases, these two methods, what are those? Hydrolysis method and carbonation of the Grignard reagent. We can prepare either aromatic acid or aliphatic acid. But there are certain methods that only for the preparation of aromatic acids. What are these cases? Let us see how does it is prepared. The first reaction is from aromatic sulfonic acid. The sulfonic acid is nothing but the benzene ring containing SO3H is called sulfonic acids. And the sulfonic acids, how does they are formed? Benzene when treated with the fuming sulfuric acid, we will get the sulfonic acid. Let us see how does this reaction. Salts of, what I meant to say, salts of aromatic sulfonic acid, acids are fused with the alkali and potassium cyanide to get aromatic cyanide. And this aromatic cyanide, this aromatic cyanide which on hydrolysis, and we will give the aromatic acid. That means salts of aromatic sulfonic, like sodium, that is sodium salt of benzene sulfonic acid fused with the mixture of alkali and potassium cyanide, that will give the alkyl cyanide. And this cyanide, you know that just we discussed, cyanides always gives carboxylic acids during the hydrolysis. Let us see this one. How does this takes place? This is said to be the potassium salt of benzene sulfonic acid, and fused with the potassium cyanide in presence of what I meant to say, in presence of either, that is in presence of water, then we will give this one, either it is acidic or a base, acidic medium mainly. And the potassium salt of benzene sulfonic acid first fused with the mixture of potassium cyanide and alkali. There is some sodium hydroxide like this, and this will give the cyanide, which on hydrolysis will get the benzoic acid. Then other one is the special methods for the continuation to that one. The second method we can discuss that how does it is prepared through Friedel-Crafts reaction. Whenever we say Friedel-Crafts reaction, that is two important things we have to remember. One is the anhydrous AlCl3. That is means there must be anhydrous AlCl3, means moisture, little moisture also stop the reaction. Now if you see this Friedel-Crafts reaction, all that is mainly two reactions are there. One is Friedel-Crafts alkylation, another is the Friedel-Crafts acylation. Both are carried in presence of anhydrous AlCl3 only. In absence of that compound, reaction does not take place. See, benzene when treated with excess of carbonyl chloride in presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride and then hydrolyzed will give the benzoic acid. That is, benzene is treated with the excess of carbonyl chloride, and that will give a what I meant to say, that will give us some intermediate product, and which on hydrolysis we will get the benzoic acid. See this reaction. This is what is called as a carbonyl chloride, COCl2. this reaction takes place in presence of anhydrous AlCl3, that means Cl. And this is a what is called an intermediate product, and which on hydrolysis we will get benzoic acid. That is benzene, final product is benzoic acid. That is, it is a Friedel-Crafts reaction. This is similar to the acylation of the benzene, that we will give this compound, acylation of benzene-like reaction. Now let us go for the another one. We can say that special methods of preparation of aromatic acids. The other reaction is the from aniline by diazotization. And you know that diazotization is nothing but treating a compound with NaNO2 and HCl. That is nothing but nitrous acid. Let us see how does it is. Aromatic acid can be prepared by diazotizing amino hydrocarbons, and the diazotized compound is treated with the cuprous cyanide and potassium cyanide to give aryl cyanide. This is then hydrolyzed to give the what is aromatic acid. Means first of all, what has to be done? An amino hydrocarbon like aniline is taken, and first it is diazotized. How does it is diazotized? In treating with the nitrous acid. You know, nitrous acid is unstable. It is prepared in situ. That is, by taking NaNO2 and HCl should be maintained at 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. That will give the nitrous acid, and that will be diazotized that aniline, and that will give a diazonium chloride compound, which on hydrolysis will give the acid. Let us see this one, acid. This is aniline, and first it is diazotized, NaNO2 and HCl. So sodium nitrate and hydrochloric acid, the temperature must be maintained between 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. That is, below this temperature only the reaction takes place. If the temperature is raised above 5 degrees centigrade, the diazotization does not take place. That means we have to take care about the temperature during the diazotization. And this will give the benzene diazonium chloride. This is what is called benzene diazonium chloride. This is aniline. And found benzene diazonium chloride treated with the potassium cyanide in presence of cuprous cyanide. And this benzene diazonium chloride will give the cyanobenzene or phenylnitrile, which on hydrolysis will give the benzoic acid. That means here we discussed already, cyanides always give carboxylic acid during the hydrolysis. Now let us see this one. This aniline, and this is benzene diazonium chloride and phenyl cyanide, and this is going to be benzoic acid. That is, diazotization is important step in this one, and you remember diazotization takes place only at lower temperature, that is mainly at 0 to 5 degrees centigrade only. More than this temperature, this reaction does not take place. And you know that in the final year, we can prepare this diazotization reaction also, that is in practicals. This compound you can prepare in the laboratory also. Now, let us take one more method. This method is Perkins reaction. What is Perkins reaction? Perkins reaction is nothing but unsaturated aromatic acids. Unsaturation means what? Carbon-carbon double bond. Unsaturated aromatic acids can be prepared by condensing with aldehydes with acid anhydrides. Aldehydes with acid anhydrides in presence of sodium salt of the same acid. That means it is nothing but Perkins reaction is nothing but unsaturated aromatic acids that is prepared, that is aldehydes, condensing the aldehydes with acid anhydride. Aldehydes with acid anhydrides in presence of sodium salt of the same, this is anhydride, or this corresponding to the carboxylic acid. And the further, what you say, the formed byproduct is hydrolyzed to give the final product. See this reaction. This is what is called as a benzaldehyde. This is called benzaldehyde. This is called acetic anhydride. in presence of this sodium acetate is with respect with sodium salt of with respect to the acetic acid. Benzaldehyde, when treated with the condensed with the acetic anhydride, this reaction takes place only in the presence of sodium salt of acetic acid, and you will get a carbon-carbon double bond. This is called unsaturation. This is called unsaturation, and you will get a carboxylic acid. That means here there is a condensation takes place between these two, and see from this here you will get the compound is like this. This part will be adds to condensed with this one, so that we will get CHCOOH. This compound is called as a cinnamic acid. Perkin reaction is a all name reactions are very important, and here this also we discuss in the aldehydes also. And Perkin reaction is nothing but aldehydes, that is aromatic aldehydes, undergo condensation with acid anhydrides in presence of sodium salt of acid, and that will give an unsaturated acid. Here in this particular reaction, benzaldehyde condensed with acetic anhydride in presence of sodium acetate to give the cinnamic acid. Special methods for the another one is the in the special methods we'll discuss one more method, that is what is called as coal-based method. What is this coal-based method? This coal-based method is nothing but the powdered sodium phenolate. How does this powdered sodium phenolate is formed? The phenol, when treated with the sodium hydroxide, that will give sodium phenoxide ion. That is it is a solid, and this powdered sodium phenolate is heated with the carbon dioxide, and the temperature is maintained at 125 degrees centigrade, and the formed product thus obtained is acidified to get salicylic acid, and that is powdered sodium phenolate is heated with the carbon dioxide at 125 degrees centigrade. That means higher temperature, and the product is acidified to get the salicylic acid, and you can see this is said to be the sodium phenoxide ion. And when it is treated with the carbon dioxide at 125 degrees centigrade, pressure also must be between the 4 to 7 atmosphere, and we will get a sodium salt of salicylic acid, which on acidification will get the salicylic acid. I think you know that this salicylic acid is very important for the preparation of acetyl salicylate, which is an aspirin tablet. Now let us go for the another one is said to be the one more method is said to be the Riemann-Tiemann reaction. What is this Riemann-Tiemann reaction? See this Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Heating phenol with the carbon tetrachloride and alcoholic KOH to give salicylic acid. See what is the difference between the Perkin reaction as well as the this is Perkin reaction where cinnamic acid is formed. This is a condensation reaction, whereas here in the coal-based reaction, the same sodium phenoxide is used, the carbonation of sodium phenoxide ion. This will give the salicylic acid. And this similar reaction we can be carried by Riemann-Tiemann reaction. And in this Riemann-Tiemann reaction, here also we use the phenol. There's in coal-based reaction we use sodium phenoxide. Here we use the phenol. This is treated with the what you call as the phenol is treated with the carbon tetrachloride in presence of potassium hydroxide, and this is what is the reaction that takes place. And there is an intermediate compound is formed here. This is an intermediate compound is formed, and this intermediate compound and undergo hydrolysis then to give the salicylic acid. And here you remember that the final product either in the coal-based reaction or Riemann-Tiemann reaction is salicylic acid which prepared. There we use sodium phenoxide and carbon dioxide. Here we use phenol only directly with the sodium hydroxide. Oxidation of arenes. See, before going to this oxidation of arenes, let us see there are six types of reactions we discussed for the special methods for the preparation of aromatic acids. Now let us see this one. Let us go. How does the arenes, how does the carboxylic acid, aromatic carboxylic acid prepared by the oxidation of arenes? Let us see. Oxidation of side chain hydrocarbons gives acids. That means side chain hydrocarbons, irrespective of the length of the side chain on the benzene ring, when it is oxidized in presence of potassium permanganate, it always gives the benzoic acid. For example, if you see this alkyl group, this is going to be the alkyl group and this gives the carboxylic acid. See, irrespective of the length of the alkyl group, irrespective of the length of the alkyl group, we will get the carboxylic acid. See, potassium permanganate. Now this is alkyl benzene and benzoic acid. For example, if you see, this is the toluene. Methyl benzene is a toluene. When it is oxidized with potassium permanganate, you will get the compound is what is called as benzoic acid. Methyl benzene, and we will give the benzoic acid. See, this is going to be the ethyl benzene. See, this is one carbon side chain and this is two carbon side chain. Even this two carbon side chain also gives the same, the benzoic acid. That means irrespective of the length of the chain, during oxidation in presence of potassium permanganate, we will get the compound is benzoic acid. Now let us say three more carbons, that is side chain contain three carbons, even though it gives the same, the benzoic acid. See, even it is say one carbon or two carbon or three carbon or 10 carbon, irrespective of the length of the chain on the benzene, during the oxidation with potassium permanganate, it always gives only the benzoic acid. Okay, that is methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, any side chain, that always gives the benzoic acid. Now let us see what are the physical properties of the carboxylic acids. In general, the lower members are liquids and highly soluble in water. Why it is soluble in water, we will discuss. Lower members, mainly up to C8 or C9, they are liquids only. And above that, see, C4H8O2, that is 4 carbon carboxylic acid to the 9 carbon carboxylic acids are oily liquids. That means up to C3, that is up to propanoic acid, they are liquids, normal liquids, but above C4 and up to C9 there are oily liquids, and above this C9 they are what we can say they are solids. And see, the higher members are colorless solids, that is if we see more than C9 from C10 and onwards, and they are colorless solids, they have don't color. Acetic acid you observed in the laboratory, it is a colorless one. See, the other one is said to be the hydrogen bonding. This is a very important factor in the case of the carboxylic acid. Hydrogen bonding and dimerization of carboxylic acids, mainly in the lower cases. What happens, you can observe, when molecular weight of the compound is observed, molecular weight of the molecular weight of either formic acid or acetic acid, when it is observed, it is greater than their molecular weight, and that means it is greater than the observed weight. What I mean to say, actually the molecular weight of acetic acid is 60, but it was found it as 120. And how does it happen? Actually it is expected is only 60, but practically it is observed 120. Then what is the reason? And this is because of the hydrogen bonding. Because of this hydrogen bonding, the carboxylic acids, mainly the formic acid or acetic acid, are observed as what I mean to say, dimers. How does it will be happen? See, one, that is దగ్గర ఏమైంది అదేగైనా వామిటింగ్ చేసుకుని మళ్ళీ 12:30 వరకు వాళ్ళకి కావాలి. ఇంకొక 5 నిమిషాలు పడుతుంది.